Hey guys, today we're going to go over how much it actually costs to replace garage door springs, both DIY and calling whatever local service guys you have out there, because the price is going to vary wildly depending on who you call and if you DIY it or not. And we're going to go over the three major types of springs that we carry and are in 99% of residential garages. So the first spring we're going to go over is an extension spring. It's this right here. These come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. You can see the color on the end there. This one's gold. Sometimes you can order them based off of that. The best bet is measuring them. We've got an entire guide on how to do this on our website. We carry most garage door extension springs. So if you guys have one of these, they can be kind of tricky to replace. They are under tension when the door is down, so they would be a lot more dangerous to replace than a Torquemaster spring for a homeowner. But if you're a handy kind of person, then it's really not going to be a big deal to replace any of these springs if you're careful and you take your time and use the proper tools, especially. You shouldn't have any problems replacing these. The DIY is going to cost you anywhere from $30-ish to $150 to order these online, have them come in and do it yourself. The replacement option, anywhere from $150 to, I don't want to say the sky's the limit, but some of these service companies out there will charge you an arm and a leg if they think they can get away with it. So you may pay $500 or $600. If you guys have any stories like this where you got gouged and you kind of know it, post it in the comments of this video, because I kind of want to see what's going on out there. I do read a lot of stuff on Reddit, the garage door subreddits, and it does seem like a lot of people get taken advantage of, and then they know it once it happens. The next spring type we're going to go over, torsion springs. This is going to be in like 75% of residential garages. They come in all different sizes. This is one of the smaller ones. They'll get much larger. They can have different color cones on them, different style of cones. They're all kind of the same thing. They come in 2-inch, meaning diameter. They come in 2-inch and 1 3/4 inch. And then I think we sell up to maybe 38-inch long. Again, you can go to our website and there will be guides and how-tos on how to measure for the right springs. Some doors will have a single spring, some will have a double. You can usually go from single to double. It'll look something like this, but you'll have two of these on that bar. So they'll sit on the bar like that. And you'll notice it, if it's broken, it'll have a big split in the middle or somewhere on the spring, it'll be separated. These are the most dangerous type of garage door spring to replace yourself. They're under a ton of tension. You wind them with these big steel bars. If you watch the video and pay attention to it carefully that we have on installing these, it's not a big deal. But again, if you're not confident and pretty handy, I wouldn't attempt doing this yourself. The obvious reason to do this yourself is price. So a typical install on a pair, most double wide doors are going to be a pair of these. You're probably looking $400+ nowadays. And we've seen stuff, I've seen people post on Reddit where they're getting estimates of $1,000+ to replace two of these springs. I don't think we have a spring that's more expensive, one of these that's more expensive than $100. Shipping these can get expensive depending on how big they are and how heavy. That's just how shipping works. The bigger and the heavier the box, the more expensive it gets. But typically you're going to be $200 or less DIYing this. You will have to buy winding bars if you don't have them. Do not attempt to use screwdrivers when you wind this. Just buy the winding bars, whether it's from us or somebody else. It's a proper tool for the job, and you really need that to make this safe to DIY. These things last quite a while. This is probably the most dependable out of all the types of springs. But again, if you're having somebody come do it, it's the most expensive. I've seen stuff, people are saying they got charged $1,500 to replace 2 of these on a standard 16x7 door. It's a little crazy because this is like an hour or 2 job. And it kind of depends on the door, the size of the spring, but they typically aren't going to run your cost for the actual spring if you went and bought them online somewhere, our website, Amazon, wherever. You're probably not looking at more than $200 to actually get the product to you. The rest is all labor. If you want a helpful tip on how to pick a local service company, do not pick one of the big chains. I'm not going to name them, but you can kind of ask ChatGPT who they are. Those are the ones that are most likely, that, they have the most costs. They have the biggest marketing costs. The individual franchises have the most overhead, paying franchise fees and stuff like that. So they're going to bake that into their price and you're going to pay for that. So I would strongly recommend, if budget is a huge consideration, that you try to see if you can do this yourself. Go look at our DIY video on how to install these and take a look at it. My dad's doing the installation. He's been a garage door guy for a long time, but he's still in his 60s and he gets up there and knocks it out in no time. It's not super difficult to DIY. You just have to be careful and use the proper tools. I saved the best for last. The most hated garage door spring there is. Service guys hate these. I'm not so sure why. This is a Wayne Dalton Torquemaster spring. Again, these come in all different shapes and sizes. Most of them will look like this. Almost all of them have this kind of cone on one end and a cone that looks similar to this on the other end. They're thin and they're inside a metal tube just like that. This is a Torquemaster system. Service guys hate dealing with them. It probably take them longer, if they haven't done a lot of them, to replace than the torsion spring. They're probably not as high life cycle as a torsion spring. They are infinitely safer for you to replace yourself. All the tension's held inside of that metal tube. If this thing breaks or comes loose inside of that tube, it's just going to do it in the tube. It's not going to affect you on the outside. It's a lot easier to DIY. We have really good instructions and instructional videos on how to install these. Again, if you call a service guy and you have a Torquemaster spring, the most likely thing they're going to do is try to convert you to a torsion spring. And you're looking at probably like a floor of $800 to do that. I've seen people charge less, but nowadays it's expensive to switch. You can't really DIY the conversion currently. We're trying to figure out a solution for that. But the bar that these torsion springs sit on above the door, 8 to 16 feet long, it's very hard to ship. So in order for us to ship it to you to DIY it, you don't want to freight one piece of the thing, and then it's just crazy expensive to do it yourself. That's what defeats the purpose, right? These Torquemaster springs will still last 5 to 10 years. We've been in business for a long time, and we have customers that have bought springs from us 10 years ago, and then they'll buy another spring from us because that one has failed. Roughly the same lifespan as these. I'm not going to say that these aren't better than Torquemaster, but again, if it's something that you replace every 5 to 10 years, most people aren't in the same house for 5 to 10 years. So it's not really a huge consideration. If you want the top of the line best garage door spring for your garage door, call a service guy, have him come out and convert your Torquemaster to this. But if you don't want to spend $1,800 or $1,500, whatever they're going to charge you to do that, you can replace these in 90% of cases, probably under $300 to do it yourself. That's including most of the time the winding assemblies on the end, the cable drums, and the spring set. And again, we've beat to death how to order these on our website, how-to videos. You can go on there and put in your door weight, height, and it'll spit out what spring combination works for you. And then you can decide whether you need to upgrade to a plus or you have an original and the winding assemblies still work. They don't make winding assemblies for the Torquemaster original spring anymore, but they do make the pluses, and we offer that upgrade kit. So if your winding assembly is broke for your original, you can upgrade it to the plus. Again, most service guys will just not replace these. If you push it as a homeowner, they probably will. But if they hate doing it, service guys, regardless of what industry, garage door, plumbing, anything, if they don't want to do a job, they're going to price it really, really high to make it worth their time to do it. Conversion-wise, you're looking somewhere between anywhere between $900 and $1,800 is what I've seen for converting from Torquemaster to Torsion spring from a local service company. DIY under $300, 90% of cases. It's very easy to DIY. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of finagling little small parts. But again, you don't have an exposed spring with tension on it like you do with torsion or extension. We sell all three types of springs on our website. Order ship same business day. As long as you order it before, I think it's 10 a.m. Central Time. Check us out. If you have any questions, feel free to email. Go to our website, expressgaragedoors.com. Comment on this video if you have questions. If I missed something that seems to be a common reoccurrence, we can do another video on that. But yeah, that should cover pretty much everything. Again, DIY is going to be vastly cheaper in any of these. Torquemaster is a no-brainer to DIY. It's just so much more expensive to do the conversion that they're going to want to do. Torsion springs, extension springs, that's up to your level of handiness, whether you want to tackle that project or not. Again, if you do, you can buy them online. It's going to save you a bunch of money. That's pretty much it for this video, guys. Like and subscribe to the video, please. If it helped you out, leave us some comments. Let us know any other kind of garage door content, any other questions you'd like answered, and we'll see if we can answer them for you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.